Hello, everybody. How we doing tonight?
Doing good. How about you?
Mm-hmm.
Welcome back. Uh, for us, it's only been about not quite half an hour since we finished the last episode. And we're just gonna kind of pick up from there. So, basically, what's happened is you guys solved my door puzzle. Congratulations.
We did it.
Then,
Couldn't have done it without Smiley.
I think you would have gotten there eventually, I'll be honest.
Nope, Smiley was a linchpin.
I really don't think so, but okay. Especially considering I fucked up.
I wasn't gonna say it.
Excuse me, let me own up to my own fucking mistakes.
Exactly why I said I wasn't going to say it.
I thought you did good.
I'm trying my
Very
damnedest. I don't usually make puzzles. Puzzles is a new... Well, puzzles aren't a new realm for me, but usually I'm the one doing them, not the one making them.
Yeah.
It was a good puzzle. I liked it.
Yeah.
Okay, so after you finished the door puzzle, you went into the tunnel and got really paranoid, but took a short rest anyway, and you were fine.
Took a short rest in the field outside the tunnel.
Where we got really paranoid.
Super paranoid.
Again.
In this place where the sky is kind of an orange color and the quote-unquote sun is a bright blue. And you traveled through this field toward this spire that first Despina, and then she pointed it out to the rest of you, saw in the far off distance, and it took you guys a long while to walk there, actually. Come to find out, that was just the tip of the tallest spire of a small city that the inhabitants don't seem to really have a proper name for. They all just seem to call it home. There was a few tense moments with the guards, just because they don't know y'all. And you met Sylvia, a Firbolg woman with bull-like horns coming out toward the back of her head and curving forward, who seems to be, if not the captain, at least a ranking member of the guard. You know, something above the usual rank and file. And she has led you guys to a small inn. This inn, it's called the Dream State. Go figure. And there is a small tavern attached to it that's actually pretty bustling right now. It is just, there's a bunch of people of all races just in this room. You see tieflings, you see Aasimar, who are usually very rare. In fact, I don't think any of you have seen an Aasimar before. For Celeste, because I know she's not super, knowledgeable about all the D&D races.
Nope.
Those are, the children of angels. They have celestial blood in them. Is my understanding. I think there are some readings of the text where it's not they're the children of angels, but more like they're angels that have fallen, and they are what they are. They're Aasimar.
Okay.
I guess they're kind of the opposite of tieflings, but
In a sense,
really.
but not really. Aasimar are a lot more closely related to their celestial heritage than tieflings are to their demonic heritage. Because tieflings have been around for a very, very long time and have crossbred with other races throughout most of that. Aasimar, not so much. They are incredibly rare. Tieflings, it's not unusual to see a tiefling. People don't stop and stare when they see a tiefling. And Aasimar, anywhere else, might draw some looks, but no one seems to mind them here. You see people who are of races that you just flat out don't recognize. Like, you know that these are people, but these aren't people like any kind of people that you've seen before.
Please tell me there's GIF at least. Or GIF, whichever you pronounce it.
What?
What?
Hippo guys?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Sure.
What?
Space hippos! Oh my gosh! Hold on, let me link it in the chat.
Anyway.
So,
Buddy.
you guys are in this. Even Despina, who is from a port city, has never seen such a diverse crowd.
There you go.
Like, there are people from just all different races and seemingly all different walks of life in this room. Just kind of hanging out and getting drinks and eating meals amicably, and it's loud in a good way, if that makes sense. The way that a lively bar gets loud. Yes, there is one of the hippo folk there, just kind of hanging out at the bar. If that's what Despina wants to do with her time, then okay.
And what about the Loxodon? See if I can get Loxodon in there. I'm sorry, I love the weird races. They're elephant guys.
Jezebel.
Shut up.
Jessie, Jezebel, darling, honey, sweetie. Not now.
I'm sorry.
I'm talking about people that your characters, races that your characters have never seen before.
That's why I'm throwing GIFs and Loxodon. I'm gonna shut up though.
That's great, but if I, Onyx, don't know what they are, then that gives me nothing. But there are people from all different walks of...
That's the last one, I promise.
Okay. People from all different walks of life. And you can tell just by their clothing that you've got noblemen here, and you've got low-level thieves. You've got people who their clothes are just slightly torn and they look battered, and they're just all speaking amicably with each other. And there's just this lively, pleasant atmosphere in this room. There is a tabaxi woman manning the bar, along with one of her assistants, because it takes more than one of them to keep this place flowing smoothly. Because it is packed full. Like, there's a couple of seats, but in order for all of you to sit together, it's gonna take some finagling. You're gonna have to find a table. And
Loxodon's gonna stare around in complete and utter awe.
And Sylvia goes up to a different desk, not the bar, where there is a different tabaxi woman, slightly older, just kind of fielding requests from different diners. And she sees Sylvia and she smiles and she's like, "So what'd you bring in for me today?" We've Got some new dreamers, I think. Alright then. And this woman kind of looks around Sylvia at you all.
Small wave.
I wave. And then
She-
I stare at the bar.
And she gives just a big, sharp-toothed grin. And just claps her hands together. Fantastic. How many rooms? Y'all are a quiet bunch.
I'm sure Carrie and I could share.
I think like 3.
Yeah, 3.
3
If you-
rooms I
if you're
can
not
do.
mind,
Are you
Carrie.
okay, sweetie?
Just, lost in some thoughts.
Well, it's a good place to do that,
Yeah.
all things considered. I'll, be back here in the morning after breakfast, and I'll show you all around town, alright?
Alright.
Thank you.
I don't want to hear about y'all causing trouble. Last warning.
Okay.
No,
She-
ma'am.
She just kind of points at each of you, and then points at her own eyes, like,
Watching you.
I just stare at the bar.
and you see this tabaxi woman pull out 3 sets of keys. So, who's taking the keys to the rooms, then?
I'm just gonna hand 1 key to Borin and let him go on his merry way.
And then 1 for me, and then 1 for them, I guess.
Yeah.
Alright.
Borin seems like he's far more interested in the tavern than he is in the rooms.
Sweetie, before you go off to the bar, I'm gonna suggest you put all your stuff in your room first.
Huh? What? Yes.
He's already going.
Hon, turn around. That backpack's gonna take up way too much space. Put all your stuff in your room. Then come back down and have as many drinks as you like.
Yes,
Also-
miss. You are wonderful.
I have a couple of requests. First of all, could we have a dinner and drinks sent up to our room?
Sent up is gonna be a little bit difficult, but you can take it up.
That would be great. Next question. We have a friend that we have not yet introduced. His name is Smiley the Tiley. He has missed out on a lot of things because, well, he's a floor tiler. But we were hoping that we could leave him down here to and get to know more people.
You wanna leave a floor tile?
Invisible floor tile.
In their defense, I am in fact real. Yes, hi. I
We are
see.
the only people who have spoken with them. You know, it is he should branch out some.
I mean, how are you gonna find them later?
Game of hot and cold.
I'm getting the feeling there's going to be a lot of that.
But we could leave them here, perhaps, like, here at your desk, or
I suppose I don't feel comfortable leaving them at my desk, but I guess I can.
or at the bar. It is whatever will work out best.
Because think the way this woman is thinking. You're asking to leave an invisible object either near her keys and money or near her money.
No, Besides,
Borin
doesn't
is
have
like,
hands.
Born is
Can I
already
just
gone,
say-
I assume. I assume Born's already gone, dropping off his stuff so that he can come back down and get himself some fucking alcohol.
Yeah.
Justina, Carrie, can you help me out here, please? I do not think I am being very good with words.
you have some string and a nail. You could, hang them on the wall.
Please don't go hammering anything into my walls.
Something is existing.
Andrew, please repeat yourself.
You don't need the nail per se. You just tie him up and let him enjoy the new sights of life.
Or we could just not do that to them.
I mean, I can find a place to put him, I guess. It's just, I can't promise he ain't gonna get knocked over. This is a pretty bustling place. And she's not lying.
Can you
This
keep
place...
an eye on him?
Well, since Bourne was the one who decided to pick him up, if you all wait for Bourne to get back down, which is probably not going to take more than maybe 3 seconds, if you ask Bourne nicely, he would more than gladly take Smiley to be his drinking partner tonight.
Fair enough.
Alright, we will give him over to our friend Boran then.
Is this gonna be a new ship?
No.
No.
Bourne is not fucking an invisible floor tile.
Cube
Damn
and the
it.
square.
If it
A
helps, the floor tile is not interested.
forbidden relationship
No.
separated by one dimension.
Yeah, the third.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
So
I have to cut it at the floor tile.
yeah, let's. I am not gonna help you romance a floor tile. I'm just not. We're not going there. You are not romancing the floor tile.
Why are you trolling
The
me?
floor
I'm
tile
the
has
one
no
who had the
interest.
idea.
Boran, all you have to do is keep him out from underfoot.
I
Oh my
mean,
God.
honestly, I would survive even that. Let's be real, I've kind of been
Yeah, we're
underfoot
floor
a lot.
tile.
I-
We
I've-
could step on them.
Listen, if you can just, like, set me down underneath your food or whatever, I genuinely don't give a shit as long as you don't leave me behind.
It is your responsibility, Boran.
I will take care of him.
Thank you.
So, Smiley, have you ever had liquor before?
No.
Would you like to?
I mean, I'll be honest, I'm not sure where my mouth is, but I can certainly try.
The poor bartender.
Rocks do absorb liquid.
I don't really think that's how that works. Also, I'm not entirely certain I'm a rock. If it helps, the
We don't
bartender
even
is
know
so...
what stone.
Yeah, you guys don't have a clue what this floor tile is made out of.
It could be glass.
It could just be solidified air.
I'm just gonna slide an extra tip to our tabaxi hostess.
She tosses you
For
a
having
wink
to deal
and a
with
finger
us.
gun, and she puts that in her pocket.
And I'm gonna see about getting food and maybe a bottle of wine or two for me and Carrie.
Alright. We are going to hand wave money in this town for the most part, at least in this tavern, because I haven't decided how much you guys have right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in this tavern for now, we are just gonna hand wave the monies and say that, yeah, you guys can get some fucking food.
Yay.
And then because Carrie looks like she's still lost in thoughts, I'm just gonna get out of the way and let Bourne and Despina go for a while. And Smiley.
Well, what are you doing?
I guess I'm gonna get fucking dinner and go to my and put my stuff in my room first.
Yes, I do agree that putting your stuff in your room first is probably for the best.
Uh-huh.
Because I would like to remind you guys, you've had some pretty large fucking backpacks on your backs this entire time.
Yay,
Yeah.
potatoes.
So I would like to go get a mug of liquor. Now I'm not saying beer, I'm saying liquor, and I would like to go find some magic intuitive individuals who might be able to help me understand a bit more about my tile friend here.
Damn it.
Celeste is like, why did we pick up the tile?
I was so against picking up the goddamn tile.
I couldn't say anything towards or against it. I was hiccuping.
I was not here for the tile.
Are you growing to like the tile at least?
I will make jokes about the tile, like how the tile is the linchpin of how we got through the door. But it does not mean I enjoy the fact that we have a goddamn invisible talking tile that barely wants to be with us.
In all honesty, this is probably the most interesting his life has been
There.
in a while.
Just because Onyx had to fucking make them sentient to break up the goddamn monotony of the fucking maze.
And now we have something beautiful.
Now we have a new friend, and their name is Smiley.
Smiley the fucking tiley.
So what are you all doing?
Well, I was gonna go put myself up in my room and then come back down for dinner and avoid anything Locke and Carrie are doing.
Well, Locke and Carrie decided to eat up in their room, so that's going to be easy.
Excellent.
I guess I could have asked Carrie, do you want to eat up in the room?
I would like that.
Alright. You can come back down later if you want.
Alright.
Well, I know that... Do you guys, Jess, Azure, do you guys want to have that conversation now, or do you want to wait?
Let's wait.
Alright.
Because it's gonna be feels. A lot of them.
Despina,
Yes.
Understandable.
what you
Hello.
doing?
Come back down for dinner,
Yep.
order my dinner, and I guess fucking hang out with Boren and the goddamn Smiley, the goddamn Tyler.
In fairness, you
Did we
got
have
to
to-
adopt a rock.
What was that?
Yeah.
In fairness, you got to adopt a literal rock.
Yeah, but that one's cute and we can see it.
To be fair, you guys haven't tried painting Smiley.
Yeah, that's actually one of the things I wanted to do. I wanted to see if, well, first I wanted to find any magical individuals to tell us more about our friend here to see if they could.
Roll me some perception. There's a lot of
Wow.
folks in here, and you're gonna have to guess which ones are magically inclined.
Time for the guessing game.
It's been like 4 sessions since I've gotten a nat 20.
Hey, and it's on the stupidest roll.
Nice.
You got a nat 20.
That is beautiful. Beautiful.
always at the dumbest times that we get nat 20.
Why?
This is like Uno levels of he can't breathe.
I'm gonna wait until he's breathing again.
Just go ahead. I'll make myself
It'll
stop.
be 10 o'clock before he can breathe again.
Okay. Yes.
In his defense, he really does very rarely get nat 20s.
I rarely get above
Same.
like a 13.
You
Maybe we
really need
should-
some new dice, man.
Maybe we should deal with Locke and Gary first until Andrew recovers.
You really want the emotional whiplash from what they're about to talk about to Smiley.
To be
Yeah.
fair, there's gonna be whiplash either way.
But at
Fair.
least if we do Smiley second, that we end on a cheerful note.
There.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm good.
You sure you're good?
Totally fine. I am more than good. I am ecstatic.
Was that a voice crack?
Yes, it
I
was.
am
Is he
ecstatic.
entering puberty? Finally?
Oh my god.
I think something dropped.
Finally, you hit puberty!
He'll be a real dwarf soon.
Alright, so what do I get with that roll? If I may ask.
So there are quite a few magically inclined folks in this tavern. And you see that one person in particular catches your eye. A gentleman in just these bright purple robes. A human man
Uh-huh.
with a fabulous beard and just
my God.
absolutely sparkling.
Wait, is this Gilmore? From
Oops.
Critical Role?
Oh.
I fucking love Gilmore!
I was going with
And
Jim
Onyx
Dark
likes
Magic
putting
from
people
Acquisition
together.
Inc.
I didn't hear what Celeste said, so let's try again.
And Onyx loves putting critical role characters in.
To be fair,
pertinent-
in my defense, Matt Mercer is not a Critical Role character, he is the DM.
Plus, that was
Yeah.
my suggestion anyway, we just all went with it.
Yay.
This is the dreamscape, I do what I want.
I mean, you do what you want, anyways.
Yeah?
Do
Yeah.
it.
Y'all
Alright.
in my world, motherfuckers.
Woot woot.
I like to think I'm making it fun, though.
You are.
Yes.
So
Yes.
with a
This
mug
is
in
this
one
seems to
hand
be
and
the most magical person in the room.
Move.
I see.
Like,
Sure as
wizard-wise,
fuck
because
is.
I assume you're looking for a wizard and not a sorcerer. If you were looking for
Wizard,
a
yes.
high-level magic user of something other than wizard, I could give you that as well, but I assumed you wanted a wizard.
And one of wizards are just because they've read a lot more books, most likely, than sorcerers are going to in terms of magic.
Exactly.
Better studied. So with a mug of liquor in one hand and an invisible tile in the other,
I would like to point out that Smiley is, like, 3 foot in each direction, so this is not, like, a small, like, handheld tile here.
Okay, on my shoulder. I would like to walk up to this individual who I don't know, and I would like to introduce myself in my monotone, soulless way. Hi, my name is Boren.
Good evening, friend.
What
You
is it?
seem in need of higher spirits.
Well, I'm perfectly fine. I wanted to I have alcohol. I want to ask you,
Yes,
do
I
you
can
know
see the
anything
alcohol.
about invisible talking tiles?
and you see him kind of like shake his head a little bit, like, I'm sorry? Yes, I'm right here. Hi, just set me on the table, please.
Okay, I set Smiley down on the table. Face up. Is there a face up?
You don't know.
Huh.
Yes, I am a talking floor tile. I was a mephit at one point, but it's been like millennia since then. I see. That is a very interesting predicament that you've gotten yourself into there, friend. They've been calling me Smiley for like an entire day now. I mean, in fairness, I didn't really have any other names.
We just came from a invisible maze with a bunch of tiles, and he started talking to us, and he told us he was bored. So I decided, can't really say I decided, you know what? We're going to give this tile a hand.
I don't really think I have a gender. I'm a floor tile.
AKA Smiley is a they.
They floor tile a hand.
And you see him just... He moves his hands, and there's a slight orange glow that emanates from them. And from his eyes, and he just examines this invisible floor tile, just kind of running his hands along the edges, and figuring Smiley out. Well, I'll admit this is something that I haven't seen before, and for that I thank you graciously. But it looks like at one point or another, you, my invisible friend, got cursed by someone or something. I'm not sure which. I don't know how to dispel a curse this big, though. It seems... Would you be willing to leave your friend with me overnight?
Ask the tile if the tile is alright with this.
Tylee, would you like to see if this man here can help you not be a tile anymore and possibly give you back your old self?
I mean, yeah, sure. That sounds fine. Excellent. I assume you're staying here for the foreseeable future?
Yes, sir.
Fabulous. Okay. I will find you when I learn something.
Thank you very much, and thank you for your generosity, sir. May Lord Bahamut bless your path.
No need. All is well. You've given me something interesting to look at.
Before I walk away, I look down at Tylee and I say, Tylee, you see, I told you where we're from. You're very awesome.
I mean, I still don't think we are where you're from. Just gonna be kind of real.
I look at the wizard in Gilmore, and I say, Mr. Gilmore, is he not extraordinary? Is he not extraordinary where we come from?
They seem incredibly extraordinary, yes. I don't know where you're from, though.
Oh shit! What's the name of What's the name of the mountain I'm from?
Markantan Musik?
Yes, Markantan Musik. From the mountain of Markantan Musik.
Markantan? Sounds similar to Marquette, however, I'm afraid I've never heard of that mountain before.
It's understandable. It's a bit out of the way. Anyway, my good sir, I will leave you to your work.
Fantastic.
Right,
Bye.
and then I'm gonna go see if there's any other dwarves that I can go have a drink with.
Oh, there are definitely other dwarves.
Yeet.
Like, there's a rather boisterous group of, like, 3 dwarves off in a corner, just having at it.
I would like to go and join them and as much expressive merryism as I can.
Which isn't much.
Is that any?
No, but I can sing, I can tell jokes, I just can't express emotion. Still, there's alcohol to be drunk. That's all that matters.
Well, Locke, let's find out. They're all above average. Look at it this way, I rolled a 12, a 13, and a 15. So, these are some pretty good looking dwarves.
Alright, you go, Boren. I'm not fair, but if I were, I'd be rooting for you.
I don't think Boren's is going to try and get laid tonight. I think he just wants to get drunk tonight.
Same thing.
It's a hell of a week.
You never know what's gonna happen.
Hey, let's
You
keep...
don't know where those dice are gonna take you.
Let's be fair. I'm not gonna deal with the consent issues that come with having sex when drunk.
Exactly.
So, if Boren decides to do anything with any of these gentlemen, assuming he can somehow convince them into his bed, well, let's be real. They're gonna make him sober up first.
Go for the 15.
Which, in all fairness, for a dwarf, sobering up just means switching from hard liquor to mortal beer. Regular beer.
Let's see. I wasn't intending on Boren to get laid, and I don't think, even if I wanted to, it's going to happen with that +0 to charisma.
Hey, miracles can happen.
Also because it's really hard to tell when Boren's interested in someone because he has no expression.
It's hard for him to tell when someone's interested in him.
Because he's blind!
Yeah, really.
Also, he's gay? He wasn't looking for it. Not to mention, I would like to point out that Boren is basically the equivalent of 18.
Child.
Infant.
For the record, I'm going with gay because you yourself said that you would never make your dwarven daddies anything other than your dwarven daddies. And
That's
you
your
put
fault.
them in cages, shirtless, dancing.
Booty shorts.
Booty short.
These are
Tight.
Listen,
Or-
just because you, Andrew, rolled for this shit, for Boren, these were all conscious decisions.
Very true.
And
So,
weren't they pouring the ale on themselves?
yeah.
Fuck it, we're going with it. But at the same time, I don't know how old these dwarves are. They're definitely older than Boren.
They are definitely older than Boren.
And so I think Boren's just looking for a timeout, like on the time to know some people and get plastered.
How do you do, fellow adults?
Well, and they let you join in, but the atmosphere does change a bit as they're trying to figure out exactly how you will fit into this, considering you aren't as boisterous as they are. Can you what? Yes.
I can dance, I can sing.
Hang on. Celeste was saying a thing.
The
My
dynamic.
apologies.
Can you what?
The dynamic of the group.
Yes.
Yes.
They're trying to figure out exactly where you fit, mostly because, yes, all three of these dwarves are in fact older than you. The 13 and the 12 by a decent margin. The 15 is still older than you. I'm gonna need to give these guys names, aren't I?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll do that later. But the dynamic does kind of just... They're figuring out exactly where you're going to land, especially since they're not sure if this is going to be like a one-night thing or if they're going to be babysitting you multiple nights.
That kind of hurts, I'm not gonna lie.
They don't say that. This is just me.
Yeah.
They don't treat you like a child, but they do notice just how much younger you are, in part as a result of your beard length. Because keep in mind, Boren is a very young dwarf. He has a beard, yes, but it's not a very long beard.
Yes, but he's
You cut out, my dude.
talk about.
You cut out. Try again.
He's also survived some situations that most dwarves don't look forward to.
And that's fair. And if you bring up those stories, then they will probably treat you with more respect. Not that they're disrespecting you, but you look at it this way. Imagine like a bunch of imagine a group of like 24 to 29-year-olds seeing an 18-year-old just walk in and join the group. Think of it that way.
I see.
Like, it's not a matter of they think of you as a child, but they do acknowledge that you probably do not have as much life experience as they do.
Very true.
Hey, maybe if you describe that gray thing we saw in the waterfall room, they might have a
Can I start with that? Like,
Andrew?
do you all know of a creature that lives down in the Underdark? It lives in the water, and it's like a giant fish with one eye, very evil. Trying to describe
You didn't see an eye. You didn't see an eye, you didn't see tentacles.
I didn't see an eye? Okay.
No, you saw a large gray mound. You saw a large gray mound sitting in the center of a whirlpool. A massive whirlpool.
That made me want to run and hide in the deepest hole I could find.
Not hide, just run.
Well, yeah.
There are a lot of things in the Underdark that make people want to run. I mean, there's a few monsters down there that fit that description. Actually,
Is there any, now that I'm not being actively trying to get killed, now that I'm in a bit calmer area, I guess more of what I'm that
you cut out again, my dude.
is there any details that I can like look back on that might be more clear now
That is
that I'm
not how memory works, friend.
yeah.
Sorry, dude, you got what you got with your perception.
I'm trying.
Um,
Perception?
when you first rolled to look at it, yeah, you rolled a perception.
Yeah. Oh well.
I mean, the first monster that comes to mind is an aboleth, but this is the dreamscape. It can't really do much to you here. It has a lot more effect in the waking world than it does here, man.
That's a relief, even though I'm not there.
Mostly because aboleths don't really dream, so that wasn't a real aboleth, that was someone's nightmare of an aboleth. Assuming it's an aboleth and not just literally anything else.
Let's see. Well, all I know is it made me want to run.
Welcome to the dreamscape, my friend. And he raises a glass to you.
I raise a glass to him. And I say, no point in being terrified.
There
Let's
really
just drink.
isn't. Assuming you're still alive in the waking world, there's nothing here can actually kill you.
Oh.
It's the dreamscape. Have you ever heard of a dream killing somebody?
No, not really. Well, if that's the case, we've been in this dream now for about 7 days. How does that go for us while we're asleep in the real world?
It kind of depends on the reason you're asleep. Were you just normal asleep, or are you one of the comatose ones?
Normal asleep, I guess.
Then you'll probably wake up in the morning tired. Pretty much any time you wake up knowing that you've gotten a full night's sleep, but you're tired anyway, it's because you ended up here for some unknown amount of time. And you don't always remember it when you come back.
Oh. Well, it's going to be interesting. Oh well. Still, so tell me, have you all fought anything that of interest? What's the most dangerous thing you fought?
Most dangerous thing we fought.
I'm trying to imagine Borun as a young kid who's trying to, you know, see what the adults do. What compared to, he's an adventurer now. He's seen some things.
One of them does raise his hand up and go, "My mother-in-law."
Ooh.
She sounds like a fierce beast indeed.
You have no idea. And they start telling you stories about... No, I'm not going to actually tell you a bunch of fucking stories about what you're going to see here.
Okay.
They start telling you a bunch of stories about things that they've fought both in and out of the dreamscape. They all seem to be... none of them seem to know anything about where you're from. And you don't know anything about where they're from, despite you guys have tried to explain, like, where you live, and the names of the countries just don't match up. If that makes sense. Like, they're talking about countries and continents and cities that you have never heard of. And they seem to think, like, yeah, that's kind of the norm. People here are from literally all over the multiverse.
Is that why I met an evil version of myself?
You met an evil version of yourself.
Yeah. It was interesting, to say the least. I'm a cleric of Bahamut, and he was a cleric of Tiamat. And we did battle, and I came out on top.
And he had your face.
Huh.
Interesting.
Yeah, I've never really... I haven't fought myself.
Yeah, it was our entire party. We woke up, and there were evil versions of all of us. All of them were under the employ of the five-headed dragon, and we ended up having to fight them.
That is a wild story. Got anything else interesting?
We fought a chimera.
And they all kind of listen and sit politely and just listen intently. And you start to tell them basically about your time here in the dreamscape.
Oh, so yeah, after we woke up and we fought our doppelgangers, we lost one of our group down a giant hole, and after we went down there trying to find him, we were attacked by a bunch of flying crabs. Like at least 20 of them, and we managed to escape, but it was a weird time because we were on a beach, but after traveling for only a few hours, we ended up on a frozen planescape where we met Siri, and she was being chased by a
Carrie.
baby white dragon.
Hon.
Carrie. I'm
Carrie.
sorry, I'm bad with pronouncing names.
I think that's my fault for spelling it Sari.
Carrie, where
Carrie.
she's being chased by a baby white dragon. And after slaying it and joining our group, we went down into some caves where we
Don't forget
rested,
Cord.
and my stone friend was visited by I guess, an apostle of Cord, who gifted her with a boon. And that morning we woke up and we traveled down the cave where we found a bullet who attacked us. We don't know why.
I mean,
We
that's
slayed
kind
the
of what
beast.
bullets do. And Boren, you are starting to gather just a small crowd of people. A few other people have joined in to listen to you tell your story.
I see. Well, after we slayed the bullet, we continued down further into the cave, where we found a place to rest with respite, and somebody gave us a boon there. Who got the boon next? Was it
I think it was me.
I think it was, yeah, Dina.
Despina? And it was the tree god who gave Despina her boon. The god of nature.
I don't know who it is.
The tree god and the god of nature are two very different people.
We don't know who it is. Giant wolf.
We don't. Oh, that's as best as I could guess. Afterward, we went out into a rock quarry where we found a creature similar to what we had named Bijou in the Waking Worlds. He's a rock. He's a tiny rock creature that has just a little orb for an eye, and he eats rocks with no mouth. He bumps into the rock, and part of the
Nimerick.
rock disappears. A Nimerick,
Not bad.
and that's where we were attacked by the Chimera. We slayed the beasts. We went on our way, and let's see. We went through a dark cave where we were separated. I don't know what happened to the rest of my party, but I saw visions of my home, and it felt like I was in another dream. And I was at home, and then I opened my eyes. I went through the day of my coronation, and after falling asleep, I woke up in a pitch black void. Couldn't talk, couldn't scream, I couldn't move, I couldn't do anything. Later, I was rescued by my friends, and after we got our party back together, a silver dragon from Bahamut came and visited us, and he gave me a boon. And
There's a
we then went.
there is a
Oh, go ahead.
small crowd of about 10 or 12 people listening to you tell this story at this point.
I'm not a good storyteller, but it's a story.
It's an interesting story, and you've got a lot to say. So, I just wanted you to know what was going on since you're the one telling the story.
I see. Well, after resting up, something we're pretty sure was trying to chase us, so we went through a cavern that opened up, and we came across an invisible maze suspended over a giant body of water with a bunch of these flying steam elementals everywhere. And that's where we met our friend who the wizard's looking at over there, and a talking invisible floor tile. And then after we found our way through there, we solved the puzzle door, and we ended up in the giant plain outside the city. And that's everything that's happened in the just about everything that's happened in the last 7 days, leading up to now.
You have had a rough 7 days. And,
I know I forgot a few things. Where we met the Avila, the Lambia. I know I forgot the Lambia.
Mamiya.
Lamia, and a few other things. So yeah. And this is the first drink I've had in 7 days.
Just had the potato.
one of your new friends waves at the bartender and orders you 2 more drinks.
I guess if you guys want to go and figure out what you're, go ahead and say what you're doing. I'm just gonna say that we're at this point just sharing stories now. Locke, what do you, Jess? What are you doing with Locke and
Locked
Siri?
up in the room with Carrie.
There you go.
Give them a
So I
second.
can't do much till.
Give them a second.
Okay.
Yeah.
Despino,
Okay.
what are you doing?
I was just observing from the bar, sipping on some lemonade as he slowly drew a crowd and making slight corrections as we were doing. Oh, it's I don't know where it's from, but it's basically like chug in a different country.
Skull.
Yeah,
With an O with 2 dots over it.
Gold.
yeah.
It's
That one.
Scandinavian.
Thank you. I was like, I don't remember where the fuck it's from. Scholar. Anyway, yeah, I'm just fucking eating my dinner at the fucking bar, watching as Boren somehow draws a crowd.
Lauren has become interesting.
He has become interesting.
As long as he doesn't become exciting.
No. You better fucking
No.
not.
Tiamat, she's going down.
Do you think Exciting's face was like a weird smile where it was obviously very strained and weird? Like that,
Eyes
like
wide.
Hold
Eyes
on.
wide, smile a little strained, maybe a little twitch there as well.
I mean, if he's a Boren lookalike, then any smile's gonna look fucking weird.
I'm gonna show you. There was a fucking movie called Truth or Dare where they had like
Oh god,
Oh,
I remember
man.
seeing that fucking face. I just thought it was funny how painfully obviously it was CGI'd.
Yeah, just that. Like that's like the smile I'm imagining on Exciting's face.
A little too animated of a smile.
Yeah.
Anywho, on to Lock and Carry.
Here we go! Get your tissues ready!
Okay.
Oh boy. So yeah, we
Andrew.
yeah, have a meal up there, a couple bottles of wine. Locke's gonna open one and get Carrie sitting down, and you seem very pensive. Things are weighing on you. Do you want to talk about them?
I feel like I should.
Go ahead if you want.
It's just ever since your comment about Despina being the best sister you could have, it just made me realize how horribly I wasted my opportunity to be a sister.
If it is anything like my family, you did not miss out on much, but
I can't remember much of mine. But I know we all loved each other. My father died of some illness before my sister was born, and my mother died giving birth. I was 6. I I don't remember much of what happened after that. I don't recall how I got to the Feywilds, but I remember there being an explosion. But this memory seems like I shouldn't have remembered it. All I had all I had was the clothing on my back and my baby sister in my arms. And I made the mistake of trusting the first person I saw. If I can even call that a person. Turns out that was a hag. And
oh,
I don't remember what happened after that. I just remember running. I just didn't want to be alone. I didn't know what was happening. I was alone.
when we would have
Somehow,
go on.
I found my godmother. She took me in. She didn't have to, but she did. And I'm so grateful she found me. But I don't know how I've lived with this guilt for so long.
Locke's gonna wrap her up in a hug. With just hold her in her arms.
Harry's gonna start bawling.
Yep.
Sounds like Azure's gonna start bawling.
Baby.
When we were all running and we had to close our eyes, I think it showed us some of the worst things as we have known. Is that what you had to re-witness?
Yes?
I'm so sorry, my darling. But it was not your fault. You were only 6.
Doesn't
You
matter
did
how
not
old I was.
you did not know who to trust. You did the best you can. That is all we could ever do. Everyone always tells me, do better, do stronger. You must be better. They tell me I am doing my best is not good enough, but I know that it is all that we can do. I'll stroke her hair. What was
Isolation.
yours?
Your best is more than enough.
It was never enough. But that is all we can do, so
I think that's a good place to end it.
okay, good, because I'm gonna cry.
Me too.
Alright.
Tears down my face. in my soul.
All right. Everyone, it's time to say goodnight.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Sorry about the tears.
You're welcome for the puppy.
It is a
Florida.
very good puppy.
And the wonky dinosaur.
And a weird fucking dinosaur. It's got an eye. Who gave it an eye?
That's been there for a while. I don't know who gave it to it.
I haven't had that in my frame.
Nice.
Because I have my screen centered on the puppy.
I mean, that's
As
fair.
it should be.
Anywho, I don't know what happened with Andrew.
Like, hello?
Andrew?
Andrew is dead.
Oh no. Lucky.
I'm back. What's up?
Well,
Okay.
You missed a lot.
It's your turn.
Oh, it's my turn.
no, it's
Oh,
not. We're
okay.
saying goodnight. Onyx is tired.
Good night.
It was all a lie.
Good night.
Good night.
Night.
Good night.
Good night.
Okay.